Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Luna Classic, what has been happening to it recently, and where we think the price is going to go to in the near future with some key price levels and some trades I'm looking to make. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you appreciate the daily analysis on this channel and you're one of the 86% of people that watch my videos that are not yet subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button. So without further ado, let's get the annotations back on the screen and let's talk about what has happened first here on Luna Classic and why we've seen this nice pump here. So of course, last time we made a video here on Luna Classic, it was back in the end of November. Of course, I didn't have any videos on this channel for the past few days because I've been moving house, and now I'm in my new house, guys, and videos are going to be coming regularly again. And of course, as I had been moving house, there seemed to have been some good fortune here on the markets, because as we can see, Luna Classic broke through this orange line here, continued in some sort of upwards trajectory here, just a slow bullish pattern, and then all of a sudden we saw some sort of explosion. The prices here on Luna Classic went from around 16 cents all the way up to 19.3, 19.4 cents. So as per my previous video, if you had traded the breakout from this orange line here, we would have seen a pump in total of nearly 20%. So if you did catch that pump, then congratulations. If you have a look back on this channel, I was saying that at some point in the future I would expect some sort of pump, because if we zoom out on the 1-day chart, we had this purple line here that was either going to be respected or the prices were going to dump very fast here on Luna Classic down to 13 or 12 cents. But the price did end up respecting this purple line, and like the previous two times where I've circled, we did see a nice push away from the purple line and in the upwards direction. So I did say that, guys, so if you did manage to catch again, congratulations. What we're seeing here on the short term though is some sort of consolidation where the prices are consolidating in a pattern that looks like this. I do see something fairly clear forming that kind of looks like this here on Luna Classic. So in the very short term, I'd say within the next few hours, it does look like we could see some sort of breakout from a consolidation pattern that looks like this. We do have a declining volume, so if we have a look at these bars down here, we can see that volume declining from where we pumped all the way to now. So those bars are getting lower and lower and lower. So if we are seeing some sort of consolidation in this region, and of course, if we do see this triangle play out, and of course, guys, that is a massive if, as I always say, because chart patterns are never perfect, then we could see a price target of a breakout in the near future of this 8.2%. So that could take Luna Classic up to 19.5 cents. Or we could see a breakdown from this consolidation pattern down to 16.5, 16.4 cents. So this is what we're seeing on the very short term. This is something I'm looking out for because, like I said, this is the 1 hour chart. And if you look at where the end of this triangle is, it is in the very near future. So we should get a decision in a few hours. Or if it gets rejected, we could just see the prices do something like this. And then we'd look for other chart patterns with the new price data that forms. So that is the first thing. Now, the second thing I want to say as well is, since we've broken out of this orange resistance line here, so this long-term orange resistance that has kind of governed the price here on Luna Classic for the past 3 weeks, now that we've broken out of it, we could say that this in its entirety, so over the past 3 weeks, this in its entirety has been some sort of consolidation. So basically similar to what I've just shown you, some sort of longer term triangle. And of course, if we are seeing this as a longer term triangle, we do have a much larger price target that Luna Classic should be reaching sometime in the future. Now, of course, if we treat this as a triangle and we move the measuring tool over here, we can see that it's a 37% pump from when Luna broke out of this triangle. And that price target then should become 22.2 cents. So if this triangle is respected, then this should be the price target that should come to Luna Classic within the next few days, and that is extremely bullish. Of course, from where we are right now, that is still, I believe, around a 23% pump here on Luna Classic. So of course, if this triangle that has been forming on Luna Classic for the past 3 weeks is to be respected, then we should see another 23% pump here on Luna Classic to 22.2 cents. So this is something I'm also looking out for. Like I say, this triangle was respected so far. We did see some sort of breakout. You can see, if I get rid of that yellow line there, we can see this moving average in blue here. This is a very important one here on Luna Classic. And as prices break through this orange line, we can see the prices use this blue line here, this 100-hour moving average, as our support. So several small pumps before coming back down to test the blue line, going up very quickly in this short space of time, coming back down to test this blue line, and then finally shooting up the way it did just a few hours ago here on Luna Classic. So far everything points to Luna Classic going in a bullish direction up to our final price target there of 22.2 cents. So I'm still really looking out for this, as it's historically happened in the past. So if history is to repeat itself, then we should see that pump to 22.2 cents. Now I'm going to introduce something new to you guys as well. This is my 5-point checklist here that I'm going to be talking about from now on my videos. Basically, this is just a quick kind of gauge to see whether we're bullish or bearish on Luna Classic. It's like kind of like going outside and checking the weather on your phone before deciding what to wear. Basically, you know, if the temperature is quite low, so if it's like 5 degrees Celsius for example, then you might think, okay, we'll just wear a scarf or something. But if it's -5 Celsius, then you might prepare differently. You know, you're going to get a woolly hat or something like that. And this is exactly the same kind of analogy for this checklist that we have here. Basically, we want to see whether our indicators are saying that we are bullish or bearish, and we assign a score based on based on the answers to these questions here. So basically you can see down here that 0 out of 5, so 5 X's would mean very bearish and 5 ticks would be very bullish. And we've got different time frames as well to show us whether Luna Classic is bullish or bearish on the shorter and longer term time frames. So basically at the moment Luna Classic is bullish for the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames, but on the 1 day we are still bearish. And so this is a good sign. It shows us that on the shorter term time frames things are starting to paint a more bullish picture here on Luna Classic, but on the longer term time frame, of course, we are in a bear market, so that 1 day is going to be showing us some bearish signs. Now of course, if we do go back onto the charts, we can easily see, if we get our trusty indicators, that on the 1 hour things are still looking kind of bullish here on the RSI and the MACD, although we've had a sell signal on the MACD on this point up here, which is normal since we have retraced somewhat back down a little bit. So we are seeing red bars on the histogram. On the RSI, we're still above the 50 value, so that is fairly bullish in itself. It's showing us there is some sort of upwards momentum still, but it is dissipating. So I'll be looking closely at the RSI and the MACD. If we do go below the halfway line, then it looks like sellers are starting to take over, and of course that will govern the kind of breakout that we had from that triangle I showed you earlier. As you know, as probably most importantly as well, we always look at what Bitcoin is doing, because Bitcoin will govern what Luna Classic does. Basically, if we see some sort of major move here on Bitcoin, we're probably going to see that there on Luna Classic too. So if we see a major pump or a major dump, chances are that bias is going to be on Luna Classic. So it's always good to see what Bitcoin is doing. And on Bitcoin at the moment, I still think we're seeing some sort of bear flag. So we have seen that pump here on Bitcoin. Basically what we've seen is some good news come out from the Feds, and of course that did pump the prices over the past few days on Bitcoin, but it still fits into some sort of pattern here where we are seeing a bull flag very similar to how Bitcoin was back in May and back in April 2022. Of course, prices were consolidating in some sort of consolidation pattern. Here it was a triangle, here it was some sort of wedge, and every single time we did see some final pump before prices came down. Now in this situation that we have here, we've had the FTX crash, so it's brought prices down to the 16,000 region. We've seen some sort of consolidation similar to the May consolidation right after the Luna crash, but I still think it's a matter of time before prices will probably head down here on Bitcoin as well. And of course, if prices do head down on Bitcoin, I do see a price target of this flagpole here being the final price target of Bitcoin for the dump down to around 13,200. So this to me looks like some sort of bear flag, and if we do get a confirmation that this is a bear flag, so prices on Bitcoin head below 16,200, then I'd be looking for around 13,200 here on Bitcoin as the final price target, the final bearish move here. And of course, if Bitcoin does make this move down to the 13,000s, then of course with Luna Classic we probably won't see that 22 cents immediately. We'll probably see Luna Classic follow suit with Bitcoin's bearish move and head in this downwards direction. And like I say, if we break below this purple line here, it's kind of make or break. So if we do break below that, then for me 13 cents is the next price target here on Luna Classic. But if we're able to hold this purple line, then it could set us up for a nice bullish move come into 2023. So if Bitcoin heads down to 13,000, then I'd expect Luna Classic to head down as well. But it's hit or miss whether this purple support here on Luna Classic saves us or not. If it doesn't save us, we're going to head down to 13 cents in my opinion. If it does save us, we're just going to consolidate in this area for a while Bitcoin bottoms out in this region at 13,000. And into 2023, I do think cryptos are going to start heading up in the future. And of course, it kind of ties in with the fact as well that this is our lifetime support right here on Luna Classic. So if again one supports the price on Luna Classic, then if we have a look at the past, we can see that prices have historically pumped from this level. So again, we should see some sort of pump if the prices head back down to the support here. So this is kind of my thesis as to what I think is going to happen to Luna Classic with regards to Bitcoin. And that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. So thank you so much for watching. Do let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I have introduced a few new things like this checklist that we have here. So if you do have any questions about that, I will be answering them in the comments down below. So ask away. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. And if you did like this video and haven't done so already, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. But otherwise, I'll see you in my next video.